Anyway, they were live on YouTube. I'm turning the mic over to you, Miki Kersgard. This mic is all yours.
Thank you so much, Lynn. This has been an incredible morning. If you missed any of the sessions, I highly recommend going back and watching the video. Um, and liking and subscribing, as Lynn always likes to remind us to do. Um, I'm thankful. I am so thankful for Thankful Thursday. It sometimes, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh God, why am I doing this? This is like work. This is more work than I used to do when I was working full time. And and then I get to, join in on a day like this, and it's like, oh, okay. Working used to take energy from me. This gives me energy. And that that's what I'm thankful for, among a gazillion other things. But let me, since we haven't said it today, Karen says, thank God for Thankful Thursday. Absolutely. Um, but I am also going to ask Holy Spirit's help, as I usually do, and say, help me, please. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me, and I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me, and I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Amen. Be with me. And we've all been really on top of the lesson for the day today. Let all things be exactly as they are, lesson 268 in the workbook. And, I know I've said this about other lessons, but this is my favorite lesson. Today, this is my favorite lesson. It absolutely is. And I was reading Ken's commentary on it this morning. And one of the first things he says about it is, this is the Holy Spirit's answer correcting the ego's need to change reality. Because every time we get upset, every time we get pissed off, every time we want something to be different than it is, we're trying to change reality. Every time we think we're a body, we're trying to change reality, because what's reality? Reality is God. The only reality is God. The only reality is that we are God's creation, and we are one with God. That's the reality. Every time we want something to be different than what it is, we're trying to change reality. And I got to read one sentence in chapter 18, The Basis of the Dream. I love this sentence so much, because when we think we're in this dream, when we think we're bodies, we're dreaming. And dreams, I love this, dreams are perceptual temper tantrums in which you literally scream, I want it thus. And thus it seems to be, you know, and we're always, the minute we don't want to let all things be exactly as they are, we are having a little temper tantrum and we're screaming, I want it thus. Not the way it is right now. I want to change it. I want to move it around. I want to correct it. It should not be thus. I want it this other thus, you know. And another thing that Ken said is let God's Son be one exactly as he is, not a multiplicity of special beings. And that includes special love and special hate. We've got 8 billion multiplicities of special beings out there, some of whom we love and some of whom we hate, and we want them all to to be different. Otherwise, we're stricken with fear and complaints and wanting it to be thus and throwing little temper tantrums. And another thing he said was fear comes from our attempts to change creation. And another, I've got my trusty spiral notebook here. Another thing from lesson 264. If God's self is perfect love and oneness, and oh, I love this. If God's self is perfect love and oneness, and we are like him, we must share that unity and love. Now think about it. We're really good at saying God is perfect oneness. Heaven is perfect oneness. Everything is love. Everything is oneness. Do we think of ourselves as that? No. We think of ourselves as this body. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. But one of the things that I did this week, and I haven't been doing that this lately as much as I used to. I used to be really religious about watching Keith Kavanaugh's videos. I just thought that, you know, that set my Sunday up for the whole week and put me in my right mind. And you know, to me it got a little repetitive, and I thought I didn't need that anymore, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can move on to other things. And then for some reason, a couple of days ago, I watched last Sunday's Keith Kavanaugh video, and he just he taught on this lesson. It's amazing. Everybody wants to teach on this lesson this week. It just shows you what a powerful lesson this is. It's phenomenal. Let all things be exactly as they are. That takes a lot of trust. That takes a ton of trust. And it apparently has hit all of us because we can't get off it this week. It's amazing. But one of the things that Keith talked about really hit me because I used to think of this lesson as I need to let everything out there be exactly as it is and not get pissed off about it. I need to let anything that's going on that I really have a grievance about, I need to forgive it. I need to move on. I need to not pay attention to it. That's not me. I'm going to let that be exactly as it is. And one of the things that Keith said that hit me so much was, let me be unhappy and not fight with it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was excluding myself. I was not saying let me be exactly as I am. You gotta laugh. How hysterical is that? Let me be angry and not fight with it. Let me be sad and not fight with it. Let me be depressed and not fight with it. Let me feel lonely and not fight with it. That just gave me permission. That gave me permission to be exactly as I am. And Lynn put in the chat, I listened twice yesterday. Heck yeah. I'm going to listen to it again this week. It was so good. It was so incredible. We think we have to fix the mind, you know? We think we have to fix us. We think we have to fix this personality. We think we have to fix this identity. We just have to realize that those things are not what we are. And that's a paraphrase of something that Keith said, and I scribbled that down. But and oh, this reminds me of something that so earlier when Zolma was on, she was having a little difficulty setting up her slide thing, and she got a little dialogue box. Hang on, Karen, I'll be right with you. I just got to say this because it's really hysterical. She got a little dialogue box and she didn't know whether to hit the yes button or the no button. And Lynn said, the answer is always yes. And I wrote that down and I'm like, oh my God, that's all we need to know. For everything, the answer is always yes. And I'm going to think about that probably for the rest of my life whenever I'm confronted with anything that I am worrying about. The answer is always yes. Karen, go ahead. Oh, did you go away?
Uh, yeah, so I love what you shared. I didn't see Keith's teaching, but I remember a long time ago, I heard him say something, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, spiritual bypassing is when you're not, whatever you're going through, whether it's depression, sadness, just what you were saying, and you're denying it. You're denying it. It's like that spiritual bypassing. It's like, yes, accept all things exactly as they are, because as Ken Wapnick would say, if you're not accepting your anger right now, if you're not accepting your sadness, you're skipping steps. It's like you don't just sit there and listen to all this spiritual uh, all these messages if you're feeling sad and think that, oh, well, I'm just going to listen to this and I'm going to feel better, getting something outside of you to fill you up. It's really sitting with it and being with it and accepting yourself where you are, and that's how you heal it. So thank you for that. I agree 100%. I didn't hear his talk, but I'm with that 100. So thank you.
Absolutely. And there you go. That was essentially the whole thing. So, but I would highly recommend listening to it if you haven't. It was it was really pretty awesome. So, the only time we think we have to fix something, the only time when we're arguing with reality, most of the time, is when we think we're this personality in this body. Go ahead, Sharon.
I did watch it, and I have to tell you, Miki, I loved it. And it's so much like Ken. Ken would never tell us to deny anything. And I had this expectation that if I was sad or not happy, I should clear that up before I come in. And then I would come in, and sometimes, and a lot of it was just because I was having temper tantrums. But the bottom line is, what Keith was saying is, it's not a problem if you are angry. It's not a problem if you're sad. Certainly on this venue, you can't talk politics because it really can hurt someone. Because, what happens with our egos is it gets so devoted to who, like we even know these people, because we're imagining what it could look like. But what Keith's saying is you don't want to make yourself wrong or bad. You want to accept everything as it is. And that could even mean rage. Because if I see an out picture of this administration and I think they're horrible, you better believe that I too still have horrible stuff in me. And how else are we going to get it out without coming clean with ourselves? We know God is only love, but we also had all these different like beliefs about ourselves, and they were always negative. And of course, we were thinking, or I was thinking that it was definitely them, not me. But to come back and go inward, that's how you clear this mess up. So by watching his video, it was very encouraging. He really nailed it in so many ways. And you can see when you listen to him how much of Ken he learned. The one thing I always saw with Ken is he never put anyone down. He would joke with them, but he didn't even correct them because he knows this is a process. So you bringing this to this teaching, I'm so grateful because I think everybody would benefit from it, because how else do you clear up? And I do well in fellowship. I love people and I love coming in. So sometimes it might be an off day. Now I am doing a lot of Ho'oponopono, but Miki, I see how your clarity is so clear. And you're no different than any of us. We are all, sometimes you get up in the morning, oh, I don't want to even get out of bed. I just want to go back to sleep. And that's the drill sergeant is the critic in our mind, the ego critic. And we can have these thoughts. They don't have any meaning. And that's what Keith was trying to say. Anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. And you also have been so spot on lately in everything that you're saying. And I haven't had a chance to tell you that lately. So I just want to say that to you. And Lynn's got her hand up.
All right, thank you. And I was just getting ready to post the link in the chat, and I see you already did. Although it looks a little different, but I'm sure it's the same exact thing. Anyway, the Keith's talk this week, what I think was so phenomenal about it, a couple of things. One, he started out the talk and he was talking about lesson 268, and he talked to great length about if you have a problem with your body, and he talked about having cancer and how what it is, how it works, all that through the Holy Spirit's point of view. And then when they came to the questions and answers, the ladies who were asking the questions have cancer. And they're like, how coincidental that you talk about this today. I just found out I have cancer. I have this thing. I'm going to die. I'm not going to take any treatment for it. I'm just going to let it be. What this one lady was saying. And it's brilliant. All the testimonials are brilliant. But what Keith says back to her, because when I heard her say that, I'm like, oh no, please, please do what you can. Don't let yourself suffer. I was thinking all these thoughts about, if my friend had cancer, what I would be advising them, and wondering what is Keith going to say about this? And his answer, I can't even repeat what he said. It was so perfect, so clear. And it was all about, I am not this body. This is not what you are. Stop imagining that this is the only thought, the only thing that can happen here, because this is here to test you and to show you, for you to look at and make that determination. And it's just so brilliant the way he talks back to her. And that's how I know I'm not really in that same place, because I would be saying to the person, by all means, do what you feel is best. uh, and don't turn away from any particular potential answers to your situation. But he really wasn't saying that at all. He was saying, you don't have a situation. You think that you have this thing. You think you are this thing. You think you have this thing. This is not what you are. This is not what you have. Has nothing to do with what you are. And it was just a beautiful, perfect. Uh, Yes, exactly. Karen says there's no hierarchy of illusions, cancer or cut on the finger. If it destroys your peace, you make it real. Exactly. So, and she was at peace. I mean, I kept watching. That's one of the reasons I watch it twice. In fact, I ran that section through 3 times to watch and see how she reacted, the look on her face, the surety that she actually had about her situation was so clear. And I was like, oh my effing God, if people are coming to Keith and listening to him and coming out with this sort of clarity, then I should be listening to him every day. Because this is beyond. I'm just I see where my own teaching falls short, because I do believe that you are the body, and I do worry about the body and think about the body. And that is not how a good teacher should be dealing with these situations, because it only adds to the confusion. Anyway, my own thoughts. Anyway, Rafi has his hand up, so I'll turn it back to you,
One
Mickey.
thing before Rafi starts, I just wanted to say I was also amazed. And when she started talking about whether or not she was going to seek treatment, I immediately into my head popped, ooh, how is he going to handle this one? And he never once gave an opinion about whether or not she should seek treatment, which I thought had a lot of integrity to it, and just addressed whether or not where where her mind was at, which I thought was great. Go ahead, Rafi.
Yeah, thank you for what Lynn just said. Brought up a very truthful and honest position, and that is, if I'm not feeling happy, I'm not being authentic. It's quite simple. So, and I can just make the decision to be happy because that's what I am. We are happiness. We are bliss. We are joy. We are the ecstasy of being. We are the rapture of being. So why not be that? Okay. And if something keeps coming up that getting in the way of, I don't like this the way this is. I don't like this the way that is. Okay, what is that? It's wanting control. And wanting control is there's frustration. You feel out of control, and eventually it gets to hate and wanting to kill. Well, that's great. And it's just a feeling. It ain't a fact. It's just energy. It's not good or bad. It came up to leave. Let it go. And what? Now I'm the peace that I really am. And it's very simple. And I do it all the time. Am I peace now? Am I love now? Am I happiness now? Am I? And just by asking the question, I've shifted out of the thinking ego mind with all its craziness and mishigas and back into the truth of what I am. And the more I do it, the simpler it becomes and the more effective it is. So I guess that's just about it. Thanks.
Thank you, Rafi. And I gotta laugh. I love it when my Italian friend starts speaking Yiddish. It's hysterical. Zoma, bye, my love. It was great seeing you this morning. Love you. Okay, so yes, the and I also have to thank Dove and Karen for their session this morning where they went over review lesson 201, I think it was. Um, because we really got to contemplate, I'm not a body. I am not a body. I am free. I am still as God created me. And we're spending time, if you haven't heard, Deb and Karen are going through review 6, all of the review lessons. in Review 6, and they all start with and end with, I am not a body, I am free, I am still as God created me. And then we contemplate what's going on in that lesson. Next week is lesson 202, Dove says. And it was really beautiful because we sat for 3 minutes in silence with each of us, and there were about 14 or 15 of us there, contemplating what the lesson said. And it really got me to pay attention and think about what was going on in there. And it's recorded on YouTube. If you missed it, I recommend going back. Everybody had beautiful things to share, and that that leads into what I wanted to do for the second part of this session, which is, and you guys know, I've been going through the 14 questions in the workbook in the second half, and we're on question 5, and the first 4 I was really jazzed. I was like, yes. And then we got to what is the body, and I'm like, this one's not as exciting, until I read through it. What is it now? 5 times. How many lessons have we done in this section? I don't know. 4 or 5 times now, maybe more. 5, 6, no, 6. And all of a sudden yesterday I was like, yeah, this is better than I thought. So I'm going to go through what is the body. And I got to stop at the first sentence and really talk about it. The body is a fence. Okay, first 5 words. I'm not even going to read the whole sentence. The body is a fence. What do we put fences up for? What do we put fences around our houses for, or around our construction sites? We're defending. We're saying, keep out. Don't come in. We don't want to let our brother in. The body is a fence. I want to be separate. Keep out. I want to be me. I want you to be you. I want this personality. I want this identity. I like this. I don't want to be you. I want to be me. The body is a fence that we're defending. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines, because we all know this is very imaginary. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of his higher holy, capital S. When it's a capital S, I always say either higher or holy self, because I don't like saying capital S. I don't know why. To separate parts of his higher holy self from other parts. We don't want to be a big mush. We want little separate parts. Oh, Linda Joy. She left already. Bye. Thank you for coming. We don't want to be one big mushy higher holy self. We want to have little separate parts. It is within this fence he thinks he lives. And we're thinking this is life. This is not life. God is life. This is a dream. It is within this fence he thinks he lives to die as it decays and crumbles. You're hysterical. Don't put in the chat, I don't want to be a blob, says the slob. I don't want to be a blob. I don't want to be all mushed into one. I want to be me. Wasn't that a Frank Sinatra song? Somebody, one of those crooners. To die as it decays and crumbles. I want this finiteness. I want to live to be 80 or 90 years old or whatever. And then I want out, thinking that anything is going to end and I'm not just walking into another room. For within this fence, he thinks he is safe from love. And love is oneness. I don't want to be a blob. I don't want to just be mush in the blob of love. I want to be a separate self. And I think I'm safe from that blob of love if I'm within this fence of a body. Identifying with his safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. In other words, identifying with my body and this personality and this identity, I regard myself as this body and this identity, and that's what I think I am. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? How else are we going to defend ourselves? Except by fencing everybody else out. The body will not stay. The body is going to decay and crumble and die. Yet this he sees as double safety. So the fact that the body is going to decay and crumble and die makes me think I'm safe. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof, quote, his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. So I think this is working for me. Yep, it's working for who Miki thinks she is. I think this is keeping me safe. I'm not disintegrating. I'm not just going poof and ascending into love. This is keeping me grounded. We love to talk about that. We love to talk about the body's energies and the chakras and grounding them into the earth and feeling grounded and not, we love talking about that stuff. I do. Oh, I'm feeling very grounded today. That's just proof that I don't want to be in love. For if his oneness still remained in touch, untouched, if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? So all of this that we think is keeping us safe and grounded and in our being and in our personality and in this identity is just proof that God's eternal Son can be destroyed. If I couldn't die, if this body didn't die, it would totally dismantle all of that. The body is a dream. Let's think about that for a minute. We talk about that all the time, but let's contemplate that for a second. The body is a dream. And we all say that. We know this is a dream. We're just a dream character. We're just a figure in the dream. And it's really nice to say, but do we really believe it? Like I know it. I talk about it. This is a dream. This is all an illusion. But if the body gets sick, if the body gets hurt, if the body's unhappy, all of a sudden I slip out of that knowing. And Karen put in, what would you do if you recognize this world/body is an hallucination? Yeah, I I know this. I know this is true. If I didn't know this is true, I would have read this book once and put it down and said that was nice. But I know this is the truth. But I know when I'm seeing something, having one big acid trip, Karen said, yeah, but I knew back in my ute when I used to do things like acid and mescaline and peyote and God, I'm not going to tell you what else. I knew when I was hallucinating, when I looked at somebody's face and it turned into a Chinese dragon mask. Did happen one time. I knew that was a hallucination. I knew that was not real. But do I know this body is a dream as much as I knew that Chinese mask face was a hallucination? Sharon, go ahead.
When I was 15, I tripped just once. A group of us did acid, and they said it was probably tainted, the acid, but I think it was right on because it was horrible for me because I was scared. First of all, I thought I was bad for doing the acid and, yada, yada. But the thing is, all I saw were pictures, images as I was looking out there. And that's exactly what we're left with here. We are looking at pictures. We aren't looking at people. So that acid did work, but I had no clue that I was seeing the reality of all this. So I do feel that it does help, but I never did it again because I absolutely didn't like it. And I also did meth a couple times. I worked in a clothing store when I was like 15, 16, and they all did meth. And I remember thinking, my God, it felt really amazing in the beginning. And then you crash and it's the worst. So I always looked at the outcome of it. But, doing drugs is because we can't stand it here. I mean, it is a very, very awful place to live, to be in this world. Everything Ken says is true. Everything. That's all. But yeah, the acid did help me. But see, the truth, you know how the court says everything that's the truth you'll keep? That's the truth. That was the truth then. And, the meth, I wanted to feel good and fit in, right? And isn't that we're all trying so hard to connect to oneness and we don't realize it? So that's all.
Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, it's disconcerting and pretty crazy, but I enjoyed it because I wanted a different reality. You're right. I wanted things to be different than what they are, so I did a lot of experimenting with that stuff. Karen's got her hand up. Go ahead. Oh, you're still muted, honey.
Okay, I just wanted to say about the body being a dream and what I'm reminded of is Dove's lesson, I will not value what is valueless. And how I remember that the body is a dream is because the body is changing all the time. And the truth of what we are is changeless. And that is the proof right there. Anything that is changing all the time and not eternal. And then I learned not to take it seriously. That's where I'm at right now. Because I could give you a list as long as my arm, which I'm sure all of us can. That things that are changing in this body all the time. Well, that's not the truth. The truth never changes. So I am grateful now. It took me a while to get to this point of being grateful for everything that I experienced, that I'm not crazy about it. Doesn't mean I like it, but I am grateful because it's teaching me the truth of what I truly am. So that is a really good thing for me to remember and for all of us to remember. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. Yep. That's the key. If it changes, it's not reality. Reality does not change. Rafi's got his hand up. Go ahead, Raf.
Okay, well, you're talking about all of that stuff. It just reminded me. When I was younger, I smoked cigarettes. And my son, when he was about 5 or 6 years old or so, about 7 years old, he got on my case about it. And finally, I just stopped smoking and didn't miss it at all. I was a pot smoker for decades, decades, every day smoked pot for decades and decades. And then one day I just stopped. And it didn't make any difference at all. Nothing, nothing. What was that all about? It wasn't about anything. Do I miss it? No. Did it mean anything? No. Ooh, am I still here? Yeah. Well, what about all that other stuff? It was just stuff. And when I realized how the meaninglessness of it all, and then I expanded it, in another stuff in the dream, like friends that I had for years and years and years and decades. Something happened, and somehow the friendship dissolved. Do I miss it? No. What's going on right now? Well, right now is right now. What about all that other stuff? It's just stuff. And I realized the meaninglessness of it all. And of course, the only time is if we give it meaning. And if I don't give it any meaning, it doesn't have any meaning in that. It's really substanceless. I look at every thought that comes up, and I stand back and I think, okay, what's that thought for? Well, it isn't for anything. And then it just evaporates. Am I still here? Yeah. How big is here? Oh, how big is here? How big is now? Am I peace right now? Okay, that stuff never the stuff that never changes is the only stuff that has substance. And that has no physical substance. Anything that has physical substance is meaningless. So it's a valuable, valuable lessons. Thank you.
Thanks, Rafi. Beautiful. That was beautiful. And it's all meaningless. You know, the the only reality is the nowness of everything and the isness. And the body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear where every dream is born. And that takes us back to the separation. Everything was born the minute we felt guilt and fear over the separation. Every dream was born. So all that happiness that we think we picture in the dream can quite suddenly revert to fear where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it? What purpose are we giving the body? But we can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. Is it a classroom? Is it a prison? Is it a playground? Or is it giving us lessons? Is it giving us pleasure? Is it giving us pain? That's how we know it's a dream. Look at all the different things it can give us from one moment to the next. Pleasure, pain, hunger, thirst, desire, wants, needs, air, food. Constant. It's never ending. Oh my God, a few hours after you eat, you're hungry again. A couple of seconds after you took a breath, you want another one. Everything. It's constant. You need to sleep. You need to wake up. You need to do things. Whatever the purpose the body is for is going to change. And the body will obey by changing what we think it is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Now that's a big sentence right there. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. And I took a long time trying to figure out, what does that mean? And Karen put in, yeah, the body is a need machine from Ken. Absolutely. The body is the means. So the way that I return to sanity is by realizing I am not a body. And so that's why the body is the means by which we return to sanity. When we realize that that's not what we are. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. As soon as we figure out that we don't want to be in hell anymore, that we want to exchange that for heaven, we can escape. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. So I'm going to go back to, if I can find it really quick. And if I had my glasses on, I could probably find it faster. Back to lesson 201 that we were studying earlier. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. I trust my brothers who are one with me. No one but is my brother. No one. I am blessed with oneness with the universe and God, my Father, one creator of the whole that is my higher holy self, forever one with me. That's my brother. There are no exceptions. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. No one but is my brother. I can exclude no one. Now is the body holy. There's your 5-word sentence, Dove. Now is the body holy. When I can go back to lesson 201, I trust my brothers who are one with me, and really understand what that is saying and really believe it and exclude no one from the circle of atonement. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. We think that when the body dies, or we thought, I know anyone who's listening to this no longer thinks that when the body dies, the mind dies as well. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. We don't die, the body dies. You will identify with what you think will make you safe, whatever it may be. You will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. And this paragraph was made for Dove, who loves these short sentences. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find your higher holy self. Those are two really good. Those go together. I didn't realize until this morning how well those went together. What is the body? And lesson 201. I trust my brothers who are one with me. That's a perfect pair for you. So that's what is the body. That was great for me. And I am going to close out with, I know, is Sharon still here? Yes, she is. Sharon, this one's for you, honey. Sharon and I are both really into Ho'oponopono lately.
Yeah, it really helps me.
It really helps me. And you guys know how I love to do a mashup. And so this is my latest mashup of A Course in Miracles and Ho'oponopono. I am sorry for my misguided beliefs, my unconscious guilt, and my unfounded fears. Please forgive me for my misperceptions. Thank you for helping me and guiding me and correcting me and watching over me. I love you and I am so grateful. Amen. And that's pretty much my time for today. Thank you all so much for being here. I would love to hear your comments on the video. If you would like to leave one, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do Lynn's job for her. Sharon's got her hand up. Go ahead, honey.
I just thought the way you put the Ho'oponopono prayer was so perfect. I'm going on there to copy it because the way you just put it in the contemplation, because of the course. It was so totally like, that's base. I just say, the regular prayer, but I just thought that was beautiful, Miki. Thank you.
It lends, thank you, Sharon, and I'll send it to you. I'll send you a text or an email and
Okay.
send it to you. Rafi, oh, I can't hear you.
Really? I
Wait.
love you.
Oh, there you go. Now you're good.
Love you. I'm sorry I imagined I was separate. Please forgive me. Thank you. That's the one I use all the time.
And that's a great one too. I love it. Thank you all so much. My time is up here. I'll hand the mic back to Lynn.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mickey. Another wonderful hour here. These Thankful Thursdays are turning really thankful. So I'm really grateful. I'm going to go ahead and end this YouTube since you already did my job for me. Thanks everyone who likes and subscribes and comments. I love to hear your comments. So other than which I'm bad at that myself, but anyway.